Hey, it's Kendall, and I love old YouTube. And one of my favorite things that I used to watch back in the day were monthly favorites. These were mostly done by beauty gurus, and I am in no way, shape, or form a beauty guru, but it's kind of transformed into more like lifestyle and just kind of anything favorites. So that is what I'm going to be doing. This is definitely going to be more than just books. I honestly don't read enough to do a monthly reading recap every month. So this is going to be all types of media, TV, movies, games, books, other YouTube channels. Also, new setup. I don't know if I like it. We'll see. We'll see next video if I'm back over there instead of here. Okay, first up is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. My roommates and I finished watching this series in April, and oh my god, I loved it so much. So this is a extremely famous popular anime that I'm honestly shocked it took me this long to get to because I've been meaning to watch it for years. We did watch the dubbed instead of the sub, and I think the dub was fantastic. So Full Metal Alchemist centers on two brothers, Ed and Al, who I just love them so much. They are both alchemists, which in this world is kind of science, kind of magic. They're basically able to use alchemy to change terrain, to create weapons in order to fight. They live in a country that is very militaristic, and a tragic event happens that leads Ed to lose his arm and a leg, and that leads Al to losing his entire body. And so they go on a journey to not only reclaim their bodies, but discover a lot of the secrets of what is happening in their country. This is definitely an action anime, so there's a lot of fight scenes, character deaths, drama, mystery, whatnot. There's not a single character death that happens that does not freaking haunt the narrative. Like, there is something that happens within the first 5 episodes, gets brought up 40 episodes later, and I just thought that was brilliant because I feel like a lot of shows can just move on quickly from character deaths, especially characters that like are introduced in one episode and die that same episode, but that does not happen here. Every character introduced matters, everything comes back around, and I just loved that in the writing. Every time I felt like I was kind of getting tired of the show, literally the next episode would like drop a huge bomb that would have me lured back in. So we did watch Brotherhood, which there are 2 different series for this show. There's just Full Metal Alchemist, which came out first, and it released before the manga was done, so it has a completely different ending. And then there's Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which follows the manga more closely. I looked up the ending to the original Full Metal Alchemist and not the manga, and I don't know how anyone watched that. That ending sounds so bananas to me. Whenever I was looking it up when we finished the show, I was like gasping because I was like, what do you mean? Like, it was so much. I definitely don't plan ever to watch it. So if you did end up watching it and you like it more, please tell me why. I think you are a sadist if so, because that ending sounded so bad. So my favorite movie this month was 100% Sinners. This should not be shocking to anyone. The hype is extremely real when it comes to this movie, and I think it deserves all of the good reviews and all the accolades it's going to get. So this is a vampire horror movie, but it is also so much more than a horror movie. So this is about a family, twin brothers, Smoke and Stack, and their cousin Sammy, who live in the Mississippi Delta during the Jim Crow era. Smoke and Stack are twins that left the Mississippi to find fame and fortune in Chicago and then decided to return to open up like an all-black juke joint so that they can have somewhere for their people to be themselves. Their cousin Sammy plays the guitar, and he's also a preacher's son, and his father does not approve. He thinks the music he plays welcomes in the devil, and Loki, that kind of happens. Literally, there's a scene, and you will know if you see it, the scene gave me chills. It's such a celebration of Black music and Black culture all throughout history. This also touches on the perpetuation of oppression by white people. The main antagonist, I forget his name. It's like Rennington? No, that's from the game Blueprints that we'll talk about later. It starts with an R, but it's played by Jack O'Connell, and he is the vampire, and he's Irish, which the Irish were colonized themselves, and his entire motivation to why he is attacking the juke joint is because he recognizes Sammy's connection to his ancestors, and he wants that music for himself. And it's ironic, and there's just so many layers to this movie that I literally, as soon as we got out of the theater, I came home, I just scrolled through TikTok and Tumblr and Twitter, seeing everyone's takes and everyone's contributions to it. I think a movie that spawns this much discussion means that the movie is extremely important to pop culture in general. Also, everyone's just really fucking hot in it, so yeah, go see it. My music favorites for the month, the cast album for Maybe Happy Ending, the Broadway musical, has been on repeat. My roommates actually saw it in New York, and I made them tell me the entire plot line because I doubt I'll end up in New York anytime soon to see it. But the cast album is so beautiful. I, of course, knew I was going to love it because I loved Darren Criss since his Glee days, so his voice is, of course, fantastic. And the music is so jazzy and happy and just like good vibes, while also having like some really emotional sad songs in there that are just so much fun to like blast in my car and sing my heart out to. If this musical ever tours, I am 100% gonna be there, but for now the cast album will suffice for me. My other music favorite is from the world of K-pop. I got into K-pop in like 2016, so it's been, oh my god, almost 10 years now. That is wild to me. But there is a new baby K-pop group called Unis that just released a song called Swicy that has been on repeat this month for me. It reminds me of the bubblegum girly pop from 2016. That was one of the reasons why I got into K-pop. I've been following Unis since they were created. They were created from a survival show called Universal Ticket. My favorite member is, of course, Jelly, the little Filipina. She's so adorable. And I hope if Unis ends that I can still follow her career and she does bigger and better things. Okay, so as I have said, I am the biggest YouTube fan. I probably watch YouTube more than any other media. So of course I have some YouTuber favorites from this month. I Loves Frogs is a vlogger who does travel videos, cooking videos, and just daily queer diaries that is so aesthetically pleasing. Their entire little queer family are so much fun to watch, and her editing is so good. She also has so many tattoos. It really makes me wish I had more tattoos. Like, I feel like I'm a person that's supposed to have an entire sleeve on both arms, but I just don't have the money. You know, we live in the current state of America, so maybe one day if I have the cash to spend, I will finally have all the tattoos that I want. Okay, so the other YouTubers that I've been really loving are reaction channels. The beginning of this year has been kind of like sad and weird for me. And so whenever I get depressed, it's hard for me to enjoy things. So watching other people watch something is like how I can enjoy it as well. So my favorite react channels this month were Halo and Kiss, which are a pair of sisters that react to anime and other popular TV shows. I found them from their Freerun reaction, which is one of my all-time favorite animes, but then loved their content so much I actually subscribed to their Patreon because they're also watching Full Metal Alchemist, and since I just finished that, it's been so much fun reliving it through their eyes. And then my other favorite reactors have been The Real Rejects, which they mostly do movies. They do some TV shows, but it's mostly their scary movie reactions that I've watched a lot this month. I am not a scary movie person, but sometimes scary movies have really good stories, as is the Paranormal Activity series, which is what I watched Real Rejects react to. I was so interested in the lore, and watching those movies through Real Rejects was like really nice because obviously since it's on YouTube, they cut out the gore and like the jump scares aren't as scary. I think they have like 2 left that they didn't react to because there's like 8 Paranormal Activities or something bananas like that, and I think they only reacted up to like 5. So Real Rejects, if you happen to see this, please go back to the Paranormal Activity series. Thanks. Okay, my favorite book this month was Save the Date by Allison Raskin, which is a romance comedy fiction book. So Save the Date is a wild concept. Basically, our main character, Emma, is engaged, but out of nowhere, her fiance leaves her with like no explanation or anything, and she's devastated, but also pissed because she is actually a couples counselor and also makes YouTube content about relationship advice. So she's like, I give out relationship advice and yet I never noticed my fiance didn't love me anymore. Like, what the hell? That's embarrassing. She basically comes up with a plan to save the date where she's going to keep her wedding date, but just find a new groom. It is a wild concept, but it never feels like overly cheesy throughout the book. I've followed Allison Raskin on the internet since her BuzzFeed days, and I'm familiar with her writing. She's written a couple books prior to this, so I already knew I was going to like it. Also, this book is based on her real life. In real life, she did get left by her fiance out of the blue, but the idea for the book came from her dad joking that she should just keep the wedding date and replace the groom. Obviously, that didn't happen in real life, but she was like, that's a great idea for a romance book. So there's a lot of parallels between the main character and her real life. For example, Allison Raskin talks heavily online about how she deals with OCD and anxiety and other mental health problems. And that's shown throughout the book through our main character. She talks about it in such a way where like anxiety and OCD and stuff like that are just a daily part of her life. And it's not something she's just going to magically cure or like get over. It's also not like her entire personality. I feel like some books can focus so heavily on mental health that it's like a person is only their diagnosis, which can be frustrating, but I never felt that way in this book. Also, the like conflict between the love interests completely made sense. Sometimes in romance books, when the couple like can't be together or don't get together, I just like roll my eyes and get super annoyed. And I'm like, okay, like get over yourselves and be together. But this made sense, and I liked the journey that we went on for our final couple to finally be together. It's just such a fun, good romance book that didn't piss me off. Okay, dude, if you're a gamer, have you heard of Blueprints? It has taken over me and my roommate's house. I think last week or the week before, we decided to play it on a random Saturday, all of us just sitting on the couch, projecting it onto the TV. And we are obsessed. Blueprints is a roguelike puzzle game where you play as Simon, who inherited this house from your great uncle that changes every day. And in your uncle's will, he said that you need to find room 46 in order to like keep the house or inheritance or whatever. So every day you travel throughout the house and you are able to create the rooms as you go. So the layout of the house is never the same. And there are puzzles, there are items you can collect. There's a bunch of lore, like your mom went missing 8 years ago and we don't know why, but I'm pretty sure we'll be able to figure it out at some point. There's like ongoing big puzzles. Like we've had to take notes after notes after notes. I have filled out like 5 pages in a notebook, and we also have a huge whiteboard that we've been writing on, because since the house changes every day, you might not get a room again. So everything you find in that room, you have to like write down, because the information could be relevant later or could be needed for a puzzle in another room. It is so much fun. It's like all I think about sometimes. The lore is super interesting. There's like an entire lore with like what's going on with the country. There was like a history book that had redacted information that I was like, what's going on here? And I just need to know. Oh gosh, it's so much fun. Speaking of games, my next favorite is pocket games or purse games or wallet games. Okay, so first up I have qless, which if you follow me on TikTok, you know that I play this every weekday after I clock out of work. It is a little solitaire crossword game. It has 12 letter dice, and you basically roll the dice and create words out of the letters and connect them like crossword style. As I grow older, I feel like I'm treating myself more like a toddler, like playing these games that are tactile and physical instead of on my phone. I'm like, good job, Kindle. You're eliminating your screen time. Okay, my other pocket game or wallet game favorite is in Vino, Morte, which is a party game that I keep in my purse. So this game is super simple. You have a poison card and a wine card, and basically one person starts out as the server and passes out a wine or poison card to each player, and no one's allowed to look at what they have. And then they go around and decide if they want to keep the drink they were given or if they want to pass it to someone else and trade. And then at the end, once everyone's had a chance to trade, besides the dealer, they're not allowed to since they know what everyone has. Then everyone flips over their card and the person who got poisoned is out. This is a super simple game that you can actually play a couple different ways. Whenever I went to go visit friends, we played it at a bar. We also played it at dinner after we had eaten. Decided to stay a little bit longer at the restaurant. This was a fun game to pass the time. I've also seen that people like to have this game when they're like waiting in lines, like at an amusement park. I definitely want to check out more wallet games that you can just like pull out easily and it's not like a huge deck of cards or like a huge board game with a huge board that you need space for. Okay, that's it for my monthly favorites. Maybe next month I will be in my beauty guru era as well and talk about some like hair or skin products or whatever. Let me know if you like this type of video, if you like this setup, or if you prefer me to go back over there. And yeah, I will talk to you later. Bye!